Hey everybody, Befron here, and today we will be reviewing the gigantic GameGenic 1100 Plus Dungeon. Let's jump in. So as promised, today we'll be going over the GameGenic 1100 Plus Dungeon card box. This is probably one of the largest card storage boxes that I've seen on the internet available for sale. Of course, they make those large cardboard style, kind of shoebox style boxes that you can store a lot of bulk in, but this is really the largest I've seen on the internet for card storage for, valuable cards that you actually want to protect a lot better than just kind of a bulk storage box. So again, that's what I have right here. GameGenic is still a fairly new company that came out, but overall I like a lot of their deck box products, some of their binders, so I'm happy to be able to review this product with you all today. So this is a fairly expensive product. Again, it's one of the largest on the market. It goes for $65 MSRP. You could generally find it a little cheaper if you look around, but it is pretty expensive. It comes in a bunch of different colors. Blue. I actually also have a red one right here just because I have too many cards, so you can see what that color looks like compared to the blue. Then it comes, I think, in black, gray, and purple, I want to say, so you can get 5 or 6 different colors. And there's a few parts that are interchangeable, so you can kind of make like a custom deck box if you want to do that. So let's go ahead and jump into this. Again, this is the Dungeon 1100 Plus, which means it stores 1100 plus, a little over 1100 cards. So in my case, there's a lot of things I like about it, and then there's a few things that I'm not so thrilled with, so I want to make sure you're aware. But again, I think it depends a lot on your use case and how you use this box. I use this box a lot to store my cards at home. I do not take this to events with me. I don't carry it around, and that's probably one of the first big drawbacks, is that if you did want to do that, if you wanted to actually take this to your local card shop, there isn't a great way to carry this. You'll notice there are no handles, there's no straps, there's no zippers. It is literally just a purely rectangular box. So you have to just literally carry it with both hands. I don't think there's any way you could really mount. There's no hooks or anything you can mount like a shoulder strap to this. So I think it would be awkward to use if you wanted to actually bring it to your local game store and play your deck. So usually I store my stuff in here, and then I take out the 2 or 3 commander decks that I want to play in a particular evening, and I'll put those into the quiver, which I've reviewed before, or the smaller GameGenic deck boxes that I've reviewed before, and I'll just take those to my card shop. I would not recommend taking this to the card shop. So that's one drawback. If you are looking for a box you can bring to your card shop, this is probably not it. It's too big, and there's just really no good way to carry it. The thing I like about it, is that it's solid. It's, again, a solid deck box. It's definitely going to protect your cards better than any of the cardboard stuff, those shoe boxes that you find on the internet, right? I've reviewed a few other GameGenic deck boxes. You can go back and watch those, and this is made out of the same kind of material. It's like a very solid, I have no idea what it is, but you can kind of hear it's very well reinforced. I don't think it's quite wood on the inside, but it's maybe like particle board or something like that. So it is solid. It's definitely way more than cardboard. I just don't have enough space on the camera to drop it, but I could do a drop test, and I feel like it would hold up at about, even if you dropped it off of a table or something like that. So let's go ahead. I've been talking about the outside of the box and kind of the material the box is made of a lot, but let's go ahead and jump into the inside of the box. This cover is held down by these 3 magnets on each side, so you can take the cover fully off. It's symmetrical, so it doesn't matter how you take it off. Nice little GameGenic silver logo in there, but it is reversible because it's just held down by these 3 magnetic dots, which go into these little sockets on the side. So you can see it just clips down on either side, and then that way you can take it off all the way. One thing I don't really care for about this lid, and I'll try to see if I can get a better picture of this so you can all see what I mean, but one thing that's a little bit annoying is that if I open it like this, and let's say I want to leave the cover on, the weight of the cover, so you can't really see my hands here, but I'm letting go of it and letting it fall back, and actually the weight of the cover, just you can see by that, it actually pulls it off the side. So it's kind of hard, if you just wanted to leave it attached so you don't have so many parts to worry about, the sheer weight of this thing is going to let it gradually pull itself off, which is, I don't know, I would like to see that if you open this up and let it hang, it would actually just stay mounted and just sort of hang there. But that is unfortunately not the case. Not a huge deal. Again, if you're using it at home like me, not a huge deal, but might be a little bit annoying. So once we get into this, so it is made for 1,100 cards. Again, I double sleeve all my cards. So from what I can tell, these are all commander decks. So I would say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commander decks in each row, and then there's space for about another half a commander deck. So that makes total sense, 550 on this side, 550 on this side, for a total of 1,100 cards. Obviously, that's kind of a weird number. I wish they either just picked 1,000 to make it a little bit smaller, or 1,200. You know, given the popularity of the commander format, I would rather just be able to store the extra deck. 1,100 seems like a really weird number. I don't know, you know, even if I think about the size of decks in other formats, I don't know really where that would come from. You know, maybe if I single sleeved my cards, I would be able to fit another full deck in here, but it is what it is. You know, I think whenever you pick a number, it's always going to be not so great for one group of players. What I found is that these Dragon Shield boxes, where that come with 100 plus sleeves in them, 100 standard size sleeves, there we go. They fit perfectly in there. So if you have those 5 double sleeve commander decks, you can use that. You can store, I don't think I have anything in this one currently, but you know, you could store dice in there, you could store extra sleeves, some extra bulk cards that maybe you want to swap in and out of your decks, something like that. So, you know, you have that extra little space, and I just use these as a little compartment. One thing I don't really like about this is that you can see this is super wide. I don't know why it's super wide, but it definitely lets all the cards like shake around. I don't know why. So whenever I go to store this, I do store it on its side, so all the cards get generally like pretty nicely aligned against one side of it. But it's just awkward that there's so much room. I don't really know what they were designing for. I think what they were designing for, I'll show a picture of this on the screen, but I believe it was made for their Boulder deck boxes. I forget if GameGenic makes the boulders or somebody else makes boulders, but you know, they're a pretty common form factor of deck boxes, and I believe if you store them like that, you'll be able to get 5 of these boulder deck boxes, and it'll fit more snugly against these. The problem with the boulders is that each of those boulder deck boxes costs anywhere from, I think it's like $6 to $10 per box. So if you were to get like 5 of those and across each row, so 10 total deck boxes, that adds another $50 to like the effective price of ownership for this box. So if I were to put another 10 boulders, that's another $50. This is already a $65 box. So you're up looking at like just the box is over $100. So that's why I don't really like the idea of just throwing a bunch of boulders in here. It really just makes it prohibitively expensive to just own just a box. But that's pretty much it. I was gonna also show again, these are all interchangeable. So at the beginning of this video, I showed that I have a red one, and the red one right here, you can see works the same way. So I can take the red lid and put it over the blue deck box, and that works just fine. So if you like to customize the look and style and you get 2 of these, that is something you can do. Anyway, that's about it for the GameGenic Dungeon 1100 Plus. Hopefully throughout this video I'll be able to intersperse some other pictures. Again, this takes up a lot of space on the camera that I use to film, but wanted to give you guys as much of a product review that I can. I don't know that I'm going to get too many more of these huge deck boxes, since this already fits my need good enough. Again, I would not recommend bringing this to a game store, just given how much these decks can slide around and how large and awkward it is without having handles. But for storing your decks at home, this is plenty adequate to keep them safe. I've had no concern so far about, you know, anything falling on this and cracking the shell or what have you. So I think this keeps your cards very safe if that's your main goal. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this review. If you like what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below in the description if you are going to buy one of these, or if you have another large deck box that you prefer to see better. Also, let me know if there's any other products you'd like me to review. Thanks again for watching, and hope to see you next time.